Chris Barrow. Driven, passionate, casual, authentic, just some of the words used to describe Chris Barrow. Chris is committed to helping people succeed in their lives and business in less time than it took with him and with greater ease. But what about Chris Barrow the man? Well, we're here in central London where we'll be catching up with Chris at the first ever DBC Mastermind Group event. How can you help dentists and clinicians?
Well, I suppose what I do, Jem, is I take you back to 1996 when I first decided to focus full-time on the dental profession. And I was scratching around for two things. The first thing that was a name for the business, and the very first iteration was the Dental Business School. And back in those days, I was doing a lot of training workshops. I'm now putting myself out there as the Dental Business Club because I think it's more of an owner's club nowadays. But way back when, we came up with a strap line for the business, and the strap line was more profit in less time. And bizarrely, even though my career has gone down all sorts of highways and byways, the bottom line has always been more profit in less time, and I'm still helping dentists. So a lot of people say quantify that, and over the years, probably 750 practices in now, I reckon about 30% increase in profit over a 2 or 3 year period. I think more importantly, probably a 25% decrease in the number of hours that the owners are working. And of course what that means is that it's bringing that whole work-life blend into the conversation. No point in being rich and having no life. And so I like to think that I'm responsible for giving a lot of dentists their lives back at the same time as having a successful business. So that's what I do.
Your tagline is more profit in less time. Would you say that you can apply this to all the practices?
It's a loaded question because clearly as a consultant you get to pick and choose the clients that you deal with. So you could argue that I only actually work with the cases that are workable. And if I'm going to be honest, that's true. But there's another question there, which is how many people do you turn away? And I think the answer is a very small minority. Every now and then I will have a conversation with somebody whose expectations from the coaching are just completely unrealistic.
Tell me more about this iPhone app that you're designing.
One of the people that I've worked with for about 10 years now is a lady called Kimberly Black. She's what I would describe as a techie. She understands how all this stuff works in a way that I don't. And Kim just sent me an email about 6 months ago and said, why don't we create an iPhone app for your blog and your tweets and your YouTube videos? And I said, okay. And we have, I think, something like 250 people have downloaded the app, and it sounds a bit bizarre, but they're following the blog on their iPhones as they travel around.
Now, I love a couple of things. I love getting an email from yourself and saying that the new e-zine is available to download. And I'm not even in the dental profession. But tell me how I can sign up for that.
The way I like to describe this, before I talk about how you subscribe, through the email newsletter, I'm writing pretty much 100% about the business of dentistry. And then through the blog, I'm doing about 80% on the business of dentistry and about 20% on what I'm up to. And then in the Facebook site, it's about 80% about what I'm up to and 20% about the business of dentistry. And so people can either connect with me as a business coach, or if they want to, and some do, they can connect with me as a human being. And of course, from a marketing point of view, that's very important because sometimes people make that connection for a week, a month, a year, before they then actually write that email saying, would you come and coach me? So it lets people get an essence of who you are and your core values. So of course, if we get back to the e-zine, which you can sign up to here, that's 100% about the business of dentistry.
And what would you say makes you happy?
I am happy at work every day. I am learning to sail, and that's been a late arriver. I am happy when I'm driving my motor car. I am happy when I'm playing with my Apple products. I am happy when I'm reading a good book or watching Manchester United play football well, and by no means least, I am happy when I am in the company of my partner Annie, because she and I never stop laughing at each other and ourselves for a moment.
Now, you travel the length and breadth of the UK. You've got passion in what you do. I can see that. But would you say you've got a rewarding job?
I genuinely love what I do for a living. And I'm going to quote a guy called Isidore Sharp, who is the founder and chief executive of Four Seasons Hotels. And a famous quote of his, which is that if you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. And hand on heart say that I love what I do for a living, and I suppose that's how I'm able to maintain the passion and the drive. And you know what? There are days that go pear-shaped, of course there are, and there are things that happen that you don't want to happen, but that's all part of the game. I just love it.